Hey guys, welcome back. The other day my buddy and I took a trip to the junkyard, a treasure hunter's paradise for car enthusiasts like us. While wandering through the maze of rust and memories, we stumbled upon a gem, a 9.3 convertible. Naturally, we started pulling off parts, including this wooden dash. At first glance, it was perfect. It was clean, intact, and ready to be another statement piece. But by the time I was done removing this thing, it cracked in multiple places, as you can see. It's just inevitable because the trim at this point in time is super brittle. But still, I wasn't too upset when I found out it only cost $17. Not bad for a potential project. What I'm gonna do now is to just remove all the wood trim, sand it down, and hopefully we have something more better to work on. I just realized that I think working with my dash in the car is gonna be much quicker than trying to peel this off because the one in my dash doesn't have any trim on it. It just has some leftover adhesive that I think I can just sand out. I mean, basically it'll be like skipping this step of removing the wood trim. Interesting fact about these dashes, there's like names here of people who, I guess, quality checked this. Any of you guys watching or still alive? And another interesting thing, my other one that I got from the junkyard, it looks like it was approved by people in America, like Lawrence Automotive, whereas the other one, I don't know what language that is, some kind of European language. I mean, I assume Swedish. Alright, so I'm gonna start sanding. This is 180 grit. I'm just gonna go very lightly on this. And by the way, this Tack Life sander, I got it from AliExpress for like, I think less than $20. It was like $15. And it's still going great after all these years. I sanded my entire 9.5 body with this thing, and it's still going strong. So I don't see a need for like a brand name sander, to be honest. To avoid accidentally sanding down the air vents, I pulled out a trusty little sanding block, and it worked like a charm. Precision is key after all. Now, as I got deeper into the project, I noticed a few scuffs and some deeper gouges that needed extra love. Enter my all-time favorite secret weapon, JB Weld Plastic Welder. This stuff is a game changer. Not only is it an excellent glue for plastic, but it's also sandable, so I've been using it like a plastic body filler for years. This worked great on my 9.5 sharp tooth bumper, and it came through for me again on this dash project. After letting it cure for 24 hours, I grabbed my sanding block and got to work. Now with the prep work out of the way, it's time to move on to the next phase. The wrap I'm using is the Vivid Epoxy High Gloss Carbon Fiber wrap. I decided on this one because it's not just a cheap carbon fiber print, it's a multi-layered 6.5mm thick film, and it gives great depth, and it's very durable and scratch resistant, and it won't turn yellow for a long time. Ow! Okay, good. So I got all the edges done, but the two most challenging parts will be this right here. So if you look on the original, there's like a very sharp line. That's the trim and the plastic. And so I'm gonna have to replicate this really sharp line, and that's gonna be really hard. Second thing is this like line here of the trim. I'm gonna have to replicate that right here, so I have to make a cut, like very straight cut, and that's really hard to do. Doesn't look terrible. So I just did all of that, and if I screw up on this, it's all for nothing. So I'm gonna be very careful. I did practice on the old one here, and didn't go too well, so let's see how this goes. So what I'm trying to do is just put the knife right on the edge here between the trim or the flat surface and the concave surface, like that. But that is easier said than done. Doesn't look too bad from a distance, but don't look too close. Alright guys, so everything is in, and I know I did it right because I got one screw left over, and that's when you know you did it right. It's not perfect by any means, and I think that's kind of the limitation with wrap. If I were to do it perfectly, I think maybe hydro dipping or painting would be best. One thing that does bother me is that little corner right there and right there. That right there, I try to make it better, and I ended up with that little chip right there, so that's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's the project. I do plan to do door handles right there, but I can't do that yet because the side door panel, leather panel, is coming. It's on the way, so I'm gonna do that. And as I mentioned on the rear seat video, it was also kind of my mistake, but LC didn't get this pattern right, so they did send me a new one. Kudos to them. So that video is coming as well. So with the panels, the seats, and the door handle, I think that concludes pretty much the interior. Except the shift knob. I mean, that's really hard to find. I would love to get a carbon fiber one. Other than that, I think my interior will be complete, and that means one thing, and I'll have to wait for the summer for that project. But anyways, that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one.